You just give us your overall thoughts of Jose and the trade, man.
Well, I mean, obviously for me, it was bittersweet. I've never taken to a player post-career and as an analyst like I did with Jose Alvarado. Like the relationship that I had with that young man, just the constant conversations from day one of training camp 5 years ago to where we are now. Even on the road trip that we were just on, which at the time it was Philadelphia, Charlotte, Milwaukee, and Minnesota during the trade deadline. On the way to two of the games, I sat next to him on the bus and we just talked. We just chatted and we talk about a lot of different things. And then when I got the news, like my initial thought was, God, this sucks. I tell you what. For New York Knicks fans and for Jose Alvarado, it's fantastic. It is fantastic. I could not be happier for him. I used to say on our broadcast quite often, there are two guys that I was blessed to cover that made me want to play the game of basketball again, that kind of made me want to put a jersey back on. And I retired in 2011. And both of them played for the New York Knicks. Josh Hart and Jose Alvarado. Just the energy, their energy is contagious. Jose's energy is contagious. Like the moment that he checks in the game, there's a change in the ambiance. You know, even in the Smoothie King Center, I will come into games and say, this is a Jose game. Because it would be like just a very, very kind of boring game. And the Smoothie King the team needed a pick-me-up. They needed that bang energy drink off the bench. And Jose always provided. And the awesome thing, CP, is I felt like even though it was on the road, his first game against Boston was a direct reflection of who Jose Alvarado is. Like if you're a New York Knicks fan and you watch that Boston game, you noticed a shift in the energy when he checked in the game.
No question. Yeah, no question about it. And, you mentioned Josh Hart, and yesterday was a 3-year anniversary of Josh Hart's trade to the Knicks, a trade that I felt like really, they had Brunson, but when they got Hart as well, that's when things really started to change, when this team really became a serious team, and he instantly became a closer for Tibbs. And I always said there was two guys that Tibbs trusted the most on that team. It was Brunson and it was Hart. And with Jose, you saw it yesterday in that Celtics game, the fan base, you felt the energy shift that he brought. Even in the opening, before in pregame warm-ups, he's asking Brunson, hey, what do you want me to do? Because everything is new for him. He doesn't know the system, doesn't know the guys. And Brunson's just like, just play your game. Just hoop. And by the end of the game, what does he do? He does his patented Grand Theft Alvarado, sneaks around, picks Jaylen Brown's pocket, and is running the other way with a layup. I mean, New York just went crazy with his energy. 2 steals and a block in that game. And, he's feeling the hometown energy. Everybody's rallying around him. The Puerto Rican flags are flying all over the place, man.
I can't imagine.
It's a beautiful moment.
I can't imagine when he does what he does in Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden is already an electric place to play.
Yeah.
Just you know what it represents, right? The Mecca, the stage lighting, like you're performing on a stage. But when you get this kind of electricity, that place is going to be bonkers.
It's going to go crazy.
It's going to be bonkers. Like Josh Hart brings a certain energy with him. And with Jose, it's different because one, he's a New Yorker, but 2, you understand the story behind him. It's a great story if you know of him not being drafted and him, going back and forth from the G League, him being on a 2-way contract and him being so impactful with the New Orleans Pelicans that they didn't have a choice but to sign him to a deal. Lo and behold, you come full circle back to the place that raised you. Again, for me, my son, my family, the New Orleans Pelicans family and fan base hated it. But you understand the business of basketball.
Yeah.
For the New York Knicks fan base, y'all got a great one.
Yeah.
Y'all got a great one.
Yeah, you let me know that, man, and definitely appreciate that. And, you know, it was, I think, also why New York was so just elated yesterday was because they were coming off of an absolute beatdown in Detroit on Friday night. They got ran out the gym. Yes, they were down, guys, but this is the second time they've got washed by 30 points by this Detroit team. And give Detroit credit, they had a class of the East. I think all roads are going to lead through there, through the playoffs. However, there's one thing about Detroit that is their identity, their calling card, their effort, their energy, and their compete level. I look at a guy like a Dennis Jenkins. I mean, every time he sees the Knicks, he's seeing red. He has that chip on his shoulder. And that's what I told guys that night on postgame. I said, that is why we bring Alvarado here. We need somebody to match that level of intensity, and he showed it on Sunday.
I will say this, though, CP, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, but if you go back a year ago, the New York Knicks lost to, I'm trying to think who it was at the time, but they lost every game during the regular season. Boston
and Cleveland.
And the regular season is important. It is important. But there are always circumstances in the regular season that leads to the head-to-head record that don't show in the standings. You know what I mean? When I was working with Oklahoma City, I remember the OKC Thunder at the time, they had Russ and PG and all those guys. They played the Portland Trailblazers 4 times in the regular season, beat them 4 times in the regular season. It got to the point where Portland, if they won their last game of the season, they were to play Oklahoma City. If they lost, they were play somebody else. You know what they did? They sat everybody except Anthony Simons.
Remember that. Yeah.
Anthony Simons had 45. So they end up meeting each other in the first round. After the Oklahoma City dominated this same Portland Trailblazers team 4 times during the regular season. You know how it ended?
Yeah.
Dame Lillard with a walk-off like this.
Dame time walk-off. Yep.
That's how it ended.
Yeah.
So, yes, the regular season is important. But the postseason is different.
Different.
So I don't put that much onus into, and I know we can look at it and say, but it was 30-point games, and I don't put much onus into that in the regular season. Postseason's a completely different animal.